everyone, welcome to Roll to Forge in our Shattered Glory campaign. Good to have you back with us again. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hey.
Now we met. So, last time we left off...
Are we not going to do introductions?
We didn't
Everyone
We'll
knows
just
who we
do
are.
yours.
They know who we are. At this
We'll
stage...
just do hers.
So let you do yours. Go ahead, go ahead.
Hers is the
Go ahead,
best.
do it. Give it to him, give it to him.
Hey, what's up? My name's Delaney Hagee, local redhead, and 49ers.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
Now they know when you record.
Divisive.
This channel is not associated with any sports team.
I didn't say which one I was.
What does that mean? You just said 49ers.
I meant like from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, oh my god, I was gonna make that joke!
49ers.
I was like, there's a Scooby-Doo villain, and he's the minor 49er. I think he's supposed to be a miner who died in the year 1949.
Oh my god, I
There's
thought he was 15.
Oh, I thought that was his
I thought it's
like,
because he was
number.
15.
But I digress.
He was 15?
Yeah, he was a minor. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so welcome.
And we're back.
And we're back again. So last time we left off, the ghost owls had just exited the Black Forest with their minds barely intact and their physical bodies also barely intact, death and things, But minds are way more important.
Worse for the wear.
You attained a new alchemist in the name of Theodore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we went through the campaign. We went through the campaign phase already.
Mm-hmm.
My role, instead of 3 missions this time, you only get to pick from 2. But before any of that, we have our Founding Legion story from the Lore Master. So, if you want to share with them what their potential bonuses are for this story so that the team can think about it while you're telling.
Alright, so heads up troops, here's what we stand to gain after this story. We can gain a lesson. All specialists place 1 XP in any category.
Ooh.
We can gain Glory of Yesteryear, which means our next set of missions will include 1 special mission, and those are usually juicier. Or we get a morale boost, and that's just +2 morale.
We're pretty Gucci on morale, though. I'll tell you that much.
I think that's sweet, sweet XP.
You know I'm always craving XP.
Word. Personally, since our margin of choice for missions is down to 2, I'm leaning more toward getting the special mission. But I don't know, if most of us just want XP.
Let it marinate.
Yeah.
Let it marinate.
Marinate. We'll
Tell
sit
your
on it.
story, Brown Crown.
Alright, so
Wanderer.
Brown Crown Wanderer walks to the middle of the camp, and there's a pretty decent bonfire going, and he's just got this modest square stool, and he places it at the edge, and everyone's eating, no one's really looking at him, and he situates himself. You hear a little bit of groans, and then let me tell you a story. It was a long, long time ago. Think about as far back as your brain can reach. And then go a little further. Before nations, before war or anything as organized as that, I mean the wilderness times. And all of life, all of existence, it was just running and catching. That's all people were doing. They were running or catching. If you ran fast enough, you wouldn't get caught. If you caught something, you could stop running around for a little while. As this was going on, there was an invention sort of revolutionized the way people lived life. It was a thing called a road. And the Legion's founder, a woman named Victory, was walking on this road. She saw a younger woman, a girl really, named Tribulation. And Victory said to Tribulation, "Walk with me so the trouble we find may be smaller." And that is how the Legion came to be. There's debate. They're saying her name wasn't Victory, it was Vicry. Her name wasn't Tribulation, it was Tasha. But the story we pass on is that when Victory met Tribulation and Tribulation met Victory, That was the birth of the first Legionnaire. It's pretty special, don't you think? And then he just like puts a big spoonful of beans into his mouth and doesn't wait for anyone to actually answer.
How does the rest of the Legion react? You can pick whatever character you want to be right now.
Currently, a character that I haven't made yet is just sitting there, taking it all in and like really like focused and listening, and just when you start eating the beans, I don't. It's just gonna like jaws ajar.
I thought you were gonna say you were just waiting for Brown Crown Wanderer to eat so you could eat. Like,
No, kind of, yeah, but like throughout the time, it's like I was about to eat, set it back down, listen the whole time, and then just kind of like starts like his eyes are in their bowl now, just really like ruminating over it, really like taking it in. Someone who I think responds well to that kind of a message. And they have they're a panyar as well, and they have little horns kind of coming out.
Anyone else want a character reaction moment here?
Shemi is just nodding his head. That's it. Taking it in. He's right.
I think Dame Lillard is there.
Yes.
yes, Dame Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, Dame Matthew Lillard is there, and he's like so entranced by that. Like, whoa. So, like, you knew them? You're that old?
No, I'm not that old. I might be that old in a week, but I'm not that old right now.
Oh, so like these aren't your friends, they're like your parents' friends.
Yes and no.
Give or take 400 years.
But it is my job to know them, and know them well.
Yo, I wish I met someone named Victory. That's a dope name.
You don't follow that up. You just look at that. So Brown Crown Wanderer gives you like a really like
Paw
affectionate,
yeah.
affectionate pat on the back.
And we also need a back at camp scene.
Back at camp scene.
You have to pick one from the list from your book. We still have high morale.
You still have very high morale. I'm gonna keep dropping today.
Let's go with high morale. Storms darken the skies, rumors and wild speculation spread.
Perfect. I
Whoa.
think I know exactly what that should be.
Okay.
So yeah, it's you.
Okay, is it Rhea?
Yeah.
I feel like that might be Rhea.
You can hear the thunderstorm start to form off in the distance. There's a sprinkle of rain happening over the camp. Some of the fires are a little bit lighter than they usually are here around Plainsworth. A lot of the Legion is, everyone has started to learn about the Hag. The Shadow Witch capturing kind of spooked everyone. You all, I think for those, the Ghost House who returned, they shared that experience of like, yeah, the Hag really, that mind sickness, that fatigue that it caused. I think maybe one or two of you may have shared that amongst other Legionnaires to warn them. And I think there's a beautiful, they all speculate like corruption. I think we have this tender scene between sisters.
I'm assuming we're probably in the same like bunks of tents, like probably like 7 or 10, or probably each squad has like their cots or whatever. So when it's just the two, like if other people are out doing something, I come up to you and I say, could you take a look at something for me?
Yeah, sure. What is it?
And I just kind of turn around and I lift up like my hair, which have been wearing like as a braid down the neck. I'm hold it up like this and like show you like right underneath, like the nape of my neck, and there's just like a horrible like red kind of like rash that's right there.
Oh my god, when did this happen?
It didn't start. It started to. Past couple nights, I keep seeing that thing in the woods, and it keeps reaching out, and I have this horrible pain, and I wake up and it's just this has appeared in the last couple days since we got back.
It hurts.
Yeah. Do you have anything you can do to make it stop?
Yeah.
And
I think I have something. I have leaves, like owl leaves. We can try that.
Okay. And I don't like reach out, and I just kind of like I'm sitting on the end of the bed, just kind of like nodding my head, like yeah.
Okay. I try to dress it as best I can with.
Probably like mid-dress, you can hear like a couple legionnaires like walking past the tent, like great party.
Yes, it is
Yeah,
very,
right.
very.
The Ember Wolves are like loud as shit right now.
The beans are pretty good this week.
Yeah, they're pretty good every week. I don't know how they do it.
I don't know. What do you think, Goop?
I like beans.
They pass by.
What a life!
But yeah, and then I kind of take. Once you do that, I like pull the thing up and start putting my hair back and tying like not a scarf, but it's kind of a heavier like winter coat or something, or just something that has more of a collar to it.
Do we know what this is? No.
I mean, you know that you've seen corruption before. There have
Okay.
been other like Aldermani soldiers who've been affected. So you're not strangers to what corruption is or looks like. You may be a stranger to like how it feels for you personally, but yeah, it definitely looks like something you've seen before to some effect. At least the beginning stages. This is the stage where like it could be confused for like a real like ailment, like a flu or something like that, but
Well, it's probably nothing. We'll keep an eye on it. I know we went through a lot in the woods, but it's gonna be okay. Do you remember what home was like?
Less and less.
Well, I mean, I remember the green. There was so much green everywhere. There was so much grass, so many hills. I remember that game we used to play? We used to play tag on the hill in our favorite tree.
What if when we get back, we're not the same?
No, we're not the same, but we're never gonna be the same. Life happens and the world is changing, and we can just do our best to get through this together. And I think as long as we have each other, we can do this.
And Rhea reaches out and grabs on your hand. She's like, please don't tell anyone.
I won't.
Thank you. I'm tired. I'm gonna lay back down.
Okay.
Alright, great. And I lay there still for hours without going to sleep because I don't want to.
yep, absolutely. At some point, like you turn into like a 6-minute cat nap. Like you slipped up and fell asleep, and then you hear the cackle gurgle again. You don't see anything. There's no like specific vision, but her voice just kind of like enters in and out of your ears, and
when that happens, I go and I find some of the Ember Wolves, and I ask them where the drink is.
Sure.
And I take some back, and I just drink heavily until I fall asleep.
Sure. Okay. Well, what do you... Great back camp scene, guys. What do we want as our bonus for the story of the Legion?
So,
+1 XP to all specialists.
how close are our specialists to getting their next thing? Because the thing is, I know getting a mission, but I also have the ability to get us a mission right now too.
Oh.
So that's why I was like, if we get the XP, would that help us more in this moment?
Silver Prowling Gale. I don't see on here.
He already got his. He got his next.
Oh, you're already up one. I know that I'm up one with Special K too. Devil Eye. Did you already get yours too?
What are we talking about?
Special abilities.
I
Are you
think
filling up the
I
big
used-
wheel?
I haven't been filling up the special ability wheel. I've been putting them into
Points.
Getting more points.
getting more points.
Okay.
But you have got that filled. And then that just leaves Shimya.
Got Special K.
But Shimya.
I have Shemia's sheet.
It's okay.
Any...
I'm not close at all.
Well, you still have to fill in those 4 for that.
I don't know what that is.
I know, you told me about that. Add 4 more. You're good.
Okay.
He's 2 away.
Okay. And if we got the special, would that be for this, or would that be for next time?
That'd be for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be fine. Yeah, I think getting a special mission would be good.
Let's do it.
It's your call, man.
Well, if we can do your thing to get a special mission now and get XP.
Is yours expending anything?
It expends 1 intel, but I have 3 intel right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and plus you give them all the questions in the world,
Yeah.
so
Gotcha. So why don't we just
spend it.
why don't we just spend the
Yeah,
intel and
we'll
I'll
take
give
that
everybody
XP.
an experience point. And...
Alright, all specialists get an
That's
additional
the goal
XP
for
to put wherever they want.
Woo!
Let me fill in on... God, I need to get a special.
Danke.
And then after that, we will move into mission selection. Cool graphics here.
Slash.
Video editor, that is me. It's not gonna happen.
Shing, shing, fires on the top and bottom.
Yeah.
Screen.
This is your special effects.
The camera's... The image appears again.
Yeah.
Something does a jump cut to the same. Yeah.
Just let me know when you've made your XP.
We just get one?
Yeah, just one.
Every little bit counts.
What are you gonna do with your experience point?
I put it in insight.
Gotcha.
Maybe get some more strong juices.
It's been pretty clutch.
I put mine in prowess.
I put mine inside.
I got a rock.
I got one.
I'm
Oh,
looking
this
at
is a
my
good insight into our
needs.
XP.
So, mission generation gave you only 2 missions this time. So, narratively, you don't have to automatically fail one unless you add a special mission. If you add a special mission, it has to be your primary mission that you go on, just so you know. The other 2 options are a supply mission with the merchants and a religious mission with a pilgrimage of Panyars. If you want to read those off at any point.
Yes. So, what was the name of the pilgrimage one?
Pilgrimage.
Cool. Pilgrimage. I don't know why I can't spell.
Pilgrimage of the Horned One.
So, Pilgrimage of the Horned One. A group of Panyar have requested the aid of us to make a pilgrimage into the Black Forest to reach the site of Nyx, the Moon Goddess. There could be artifacts there of use at the altar. News of our encounter with the hag has circulated over this last week, and the group is afraid of desecration of the site. Guide them through the forest to the site and give them the time they need to cleanse it. Take any religious supplies you might need to ward off the hag's corruption as you move through the forest.
What about Eater? Wasn't he in the forest too?
No, he's dead.
We killed Eater. That was the Shimya
Shimmy Shackleton.
Shimble Shack. Shim Shack.
Oh, not
Welcome to
either
the
then.
Shim Shack.
The big bad.
Render?
The hag?
Yeah.
No.
Still there.
Render.
Render.
The Brokens?
Yes.
They're just moving. You have not encountered them.
It was the
yet.
hag that moved.
That was the hag
That was
thing
just
that
the
we
hag?
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that's
yeah, that's not the big.
It's
guy.
kind of a shadow witch that's been eating other shadow witches to
Okay.
get more shadow witchy.
That was.
Yeah.
And we're
that
like,
was-
ugh.
Yep.
Gross.
Hag, but like capitalized.
Oh,
Upward
Also-
mobility through cannibalism.
I learned that the
You heard it here
Shadow
first.
Witch or the hag is not actually that big, but I was expecting her to be like Titan size, like gigantic, but she's not that big.
She's like 7-8 foot, hunched over.
I kind of imagined her
Oh, it's just
like
like
no
Taco
face.
Fall.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ah,
like no face.
cool,
Just
cool.
like
Yeah.
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 little bits
but,
of hag
like,
just floating
really,
inside of her.
really tall.
I just confused No Face for the Faceless Man.
Slender Man. I was imagining Slender Man.
Yeah, that too.
So that's the pilgrimage. The other one is our old mission from last time, because it's still just another day on the job. We were bombarded by requests for people to tag along with us northward. Apparently, news of the Western Front has made its way here, that we were heading to Skydagger Keep. Some merchants have offered a handsome reward of supplies if we could retrieve some goods from the watchtower and mine along the eastern edge of the Sunspire Peaks. Should be a simple retrieval mission, so the risk is minimal. Easy work's nothing to snuff at. I don't trust the thing because it says just another day on the job.
Devil you know versus the devil you don't.
But we need supply, and I really want to
we
get
are
supply.
pretty low on supply.
Supply.
And then the other mission is a religious mission, and it gives you favor, but it's not glory, unfortunately. So it will not give to Zora.
So
even
I wouldn't, even though it says favor, it's not her type of favor.
Yeah, it's not her type of favor because you guys selected glory.
And
for
this
her
one's
favor.
holy.
This one is mystic.
Oh, this one's mystic.
Yeah.
All right.
And then it also gives you a specialist as a reward.
The pilgrimage does.
Yeah, that's,
I need.
tempting.
I will never be the specialist on
Do
a
we know
mission.
what kind of specialist, or is it like?
It doesn't. It's narrative based.
Ah.
All right.
Didn't we get one specialist though? One new one.
We got a non-legionnaire unit, which was the alchemist.
No, I mean we had another one that we got.
There's a
didn't we?
special mission where we can get one.
Oh yeah, that
Who's
knights or
A
whatever.
knight.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a heavy.
Oh, what's his
The
name?
Kingfisher.
The
Yeah,
Kingfisher.
Kingfisher.
But he also has.
So what I'm thinking is, I spend the intel to get one of the special missions, make that our primary, and make the supply mission our secondary because we need supply. How do we feel about that team?
What's the specialist mission?
There's two currently on the table. If he does the special mission, there's one that you already know that is a heavy, and one that you don't know what it is for the pilgrimage mission.
And you don't want to do the pilgrimage.
But both the special and the pilgrimage are going to send you into the Black Forest.
Yeah, we're going back.
Can we go with 2 units this time?
You can certainly try.
What do we? Any
So you
advice?
proposed which special mission to be the primary mission?
I'm saying I spend an intel to try and get one of the special missions.
Oh, that's right. You also don't get to. You don't have the ability to pick your special mission. You have to roll
We're
randomly
getting
for
there.
it.
We're close.
So should I hold off and try to do the pilgrimage, or should we take our primary mission is another day on the job, and we leave this pilgrimage mission up to chance?
I didn't mention. I forgot to mention this last time. Don't forget to increase your pressure by 1 because you, in addition to your time. Up by
Gotcha.
one.
I thought that was weird. I was like, pressure is 0.
Yeah.
Sick.
Still,
Oh, it's 1. Okay. So I'll do that. So what are we thinking?
I think that's why you're the decision maker. 'Cause
All right.
I mean, so you're thinking of making the supply run the primary and
No.
And-
Oh, I thought you.
Well, because I'm just nervous about how much damage we're gonna take, and I'd rather just leave it up to one roll at the end for this pilgrimage of the Horned One.
But if you make it a special, you're going to have to do the special as a primary.
Yeah,
Get
so that's
to-
why I'm saying if I don't take the special, we could do this pilgrimage. If I don't spend the intel,
I'm saying if you want the supply, you may not want to leave it up to a die roll.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
We do supply as the main one to make sure we get supply. We do this religious mission, this mystic mission as our secondary.
that's the one.
Who do we have to send when we go on these missions?
Religious missions, I think, are officer and something else. It should say
Yeah,
on the
religious.
Marshall sheet.
Okay, yeah, Marshall, can you tell me who I need for supply in that? Because that'll help me decide too, based on who's.
It'll be on the right hand side of the specialist you have listed.
'Cause I don't want to have our secondary mission including someone who's injured.
Or
The
corrupted.
medic can go
You
in
and your
religious
cadaver
missions.
cooties.
Heavy is assault. Heavy is assault and supply missions. Medic is assault and religious missions. Officer is religious and supply. Scout is recon and supply. That's all we have.
Alright, so say all the ones that are for religious.
Medic, officer.
Medic or officer. How are our medic and officer doing?
Medic just went on the mission in the woods.
Yeah, her own.
But is she injured?
I don't think so. Paralysis was the only one.
So yeah, she was just paralyzed. Let me look real quick.
They just had
That
corruption.
guy.
Yeah, Special K keeps walking away like pretty okay.
Yeah.
Protect your
Okay,
healers.
so medic would be great to
Basis
send
of
on.
every game.
So she could definitely go on the pilgrimage.
Actually, I think she would want to.
Yeah,
She wants to go back in the forest anyway.
so she would go on the pilgrimage.
She missed most of it.
No, she's obsessed because of her trauma.
So
Sorry,
bonus
was I
points there.
supposed to join it?
Jeez. And then who has to go on?
Oh.
Who can go on supply missions for me?
Supply missions are as
I think
Heavy
it's
and scout?
yeah, heavy and
Yeah.
heavy and officer.
heavy can go on supply, officer can go on supply, and scout can go on supply.
Okay, so we could send both our heavy and our officer.
How's
They're both-
Shimia?
Fine.
Yeah, Shimmy is almost all fine.
Pretty Gucci. I just have a couple.
Scout, you're
Level
hurt
one
though, right?
arms.
You're hurt.
Yeah, got traumatized out on the last
How's-
mission.
Okay, so you're trying out, but are you
Well-
and you have injuries too?
I have a level 2.
How's you have double eye right now? How's double
Yeah,
eye?
he's just got a level 2 ouch.
Level 2
It
ouchies.
says ouch! That's his level 2 harm. So,
Don't forget to add your debuffs when you make rolls. I keep forgetting to make sure you guys are doing that.
Who is?
Otherwise, the harms don't matter.
Is there
Right.
any other? Is there any uninjured specialist that we can send on this secondary mission besides the medic? Or is everyone else injured?
I think Shackleton should be some sort of okay. You have one
He's got
ouchie,
an
right?
ouch.
so I've got. I'm sorry. What was the question? I didn't hear it.
The officer ouchies, you just have the one ouchie, right?
Yes, I've got one level 2 harm, so I'll roll
Wait,
one.
would that have healed last time though?
No.
No,
so
it
we
was
got
only one box.
Oh, okay.
So you need supply.
So, and I know I've asked this before, but potency, what does that do? Does that increase effect? Does
It increases effect to whatever the potency is directed to. So like
Really?
Black Shot increases any effect of like assaulting an undead, damaging an undead.
So I'll be rolling one less die for everything, but I'll have potency when I do things because one of my personality traits is that I'm vengeful.
So
There you go.
let's get it. All right.
So let that be a lesson.
So we're gonna take a minus die no matter what
yeah.
on the
Secondary.
secondary mission.
Yeah,
Okay.
because of the wounded.
Because we have 3 out of 4 wounded, so there's gonna be a wounded.
Wounded only matters for assault missions, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Marshall,
Please tell
BBB.
me the truth. Because I think what I'm thinking is for the supply mission.
Yeah, wounded is only for assault missions.
Oh, perfect. All right. Shimya Shackleton. Back at it again.
Shim Shack.
Good old
Down
Shimshak.
at the
I mean, you end up saying that
Shim
actually. So yeah.
Shim Shack.
So we're thinking go for the supplies and,
Go for the supply so that way we make sure we get it.
and roll for the pilgrimage.
That's the
I'm good at
decision.
that if you guys are
Yeah,
good
I'm good with that.
Let's do it.
Alright, who are your
Make a
squads
decision.
going on the missions?
Okay, let's see here. It's a supply mission, so I think that definitely means it. It's the old Shim Shack duo. So,
Because it's tight.
They had a hard week last week. These guys.
Shimya and Shackleton are gonna go out on the mission, and what is gonna be the main thing? What is it's just an average day.
Yeah, okay.
You know what? This is just
Thank
a
you.
simple mission like that. I said we send out the Ember Wolves so that way they get some team bonding.
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Which means you don't get to play Enika.
I don't.
You have to be Shinya.
Great.
Sorry.
There you go.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's good.
I think, if it's just another
love
day,
Shimmy.
then
I love
narratively
both.
it would make sense to
Just
send the Emberwolf so they
Make
have
sure-
a.
pass out the
Oh, do I
character
have to
sheets.
give you
No, you can keep
Anisha?
Shimmy.
No, she'll give you Anika just to
I
hang on
have
to.
Anika.
Oh.
Oh, why I have everything.
That is okay.
God
Excuse
bless
me.
you.
That excuse me straight to the camera. I love it.
Excuse me.
Folks watching.
Yeah,
at
the
home,
podcast.
That was for you.
Yeah, they. I'm gonna still give you cuts.
What are assets?
We're like the alchemist, supply or
Man.
materials like black shot and religious
Yeah, the
supplies and
cuts
stuff
has
like
free
that.
skirmish.
Just depends on kind
And
of.
supply is
Ooh.
not the same thing.
Yes,
Supply is
that's
like
a rookie?
abstract.
We have
which you use
extra
on things.
bandages. We have extra
What?
party supplies.
That's not
Lex
as much
is here.
skirmish as Shimya.
How many? He has 3.
Yeah, he has 3.
Ooh, how do you get 3? That's awesome.
No.
I get an extra dice in group actions. Oh, I'm so excited. I never
I
get to
haven't played
play.
Shimya in so long.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, it hasn't been since the first mission, kind of.
And they
And the Ember Wolves.
1D to resist on
Valentine's Day
desperate
dice.
actions.
I want more.
What was the name of the new people?
Oh my gosh.
Corona.
Level 1 harms don't.
Corona and Anika.
Do you have
Grace
Corona?
has
Maybe
Anika.
No, I don't have.
Corona Bear.
It's one of your 2 soldiers.
Yes.
Anika.
You
Anika.
still want to hang on to it, just in case Shimmy goes down. Just saying.
And also, remember for Shackleton and Shimit, you can take 3 level 2s total. Because that's Zora's special thing. So she helps on
I'm
special.
not seeing Cagney and wait, Cagney?
Corona.
Where did
I see
Cagney's one of the, he's like a viper or something.
Oh yeah, the Star Vipers that were all
Yeah.
like Danny DeVito.
Oh wait,
I
maybe
thought you
it's
just made that up off the top of
never
your
mind.
head.
It's probably back here
Duke.
because I
I
didn't
know
punch
Nick
it.
No, I don't
Du-
know Cat.
Dumont.
No, Dabney.
Ooh, that's a good one too, Daphne.
No, Dabney.
And you have
Damn.
your
Like
rookie
Coleman?
sheet as well.
No.
Mine? Yeah, I have mine.
Okay, cool. Let's see.
Oh,
Alright, let's load up for the
That's
engagement.
honestly, that's
So,
on me.
how should we
That's on
pat?
me. You're right.
Oh, Quartermaster, do you want to give anything to this mission?
This is a supply mission, so
right.
you can get an extra die if you spend extra food.
Sure. Let me just check.
Be
We are
mindful.
hungry people.
Be mindful that food is much more important than any of your other materials.
Wasn't
because-
I supposed to send or spend food on the last?
No, you spent horses on the last one.
Yeah, you spent horses on the last one.
Yeah.
For the recon.
Oh, I spent horses on the last.
Yeah. Food is much more important than any of your other materials because you have to be able to eat food every time you come back from a mission.
That's what I mean.
Keep
Shouldn't
that in
I?
mind.
Shouldn't I have spent food when we came back? from the mission last night? I only have 2 marks. So
Yeah.
That's why I'm
How many
saying.
missions? You've done 3 missions so far, right?
Think so.
You came back from the Western Front, Nate one. You
I
went
think
on a
every
mission in the Western Front, then you went to
literally
Plainsworth and did a mission, and you
that's
just came
all
back
there
from
is.
the Fourth. So you should have 4. You should have 4 food spent right now.
Yikes. Okay. Well, I
The
We have-
move
The
to-
starting mission
Yeah.
in Kinton.
Yeah.
Because
we have
you're
2
supposed to have more points.
food uses left.
Oh, that's why.
Probably
the
should,
wrong
yeah.
character sheet.
Is Goop supposed to have more points?
You incur morale loss every time you can't feed.
Yeah, because you only put 1. You should have 4 total.
Oh, these chairs
Well,
are
7
so
total.
comfortable.
4 extra dots.
4 extra.
So
So
that's
you
nice.
added 1.
Happy butts.
Oh, and I can't add anchor. So I just,
Yeah,
Also, that
so-
helped me remind, like, my Emerald, I can't have a specialist dot, so
Yeah.
I should add it to...
And we can't have more than 2 dots in
3
one.
dots.
Oh, so we can have 3 dots?
Oh, I guess 2 dots for your starting, and when you level up, you can have 3 dots.
What are
Yes, you're right.
Shimya's dots in, by the way?
Skirmish.
Like, what are the ones she naturally has?
Skirmish.
Sorry.
That's okay. Hang on.
Just because we look at you.
It ends in an A. No,
Because I'm such a one and
there's Shimya, because it ends in an instead of Shimyo.
Mm-hmm.
Shimyo.
Shimyo. Oh my
Shimya.
god. Or Shimyus.
Shimyus.
Shimmy
See,
smacks.
skirmish. Anchor. Not doing so great.
Rex, skirmish, and anchor.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So I'm
And
basically...
you can't pick up anchor. You get that when you turn it into your
Exactly.
specialist.
So I'm just gonna get...
Remember, I have just a kid, so when someone protects me, they get XP.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is it just one time?
Oh, okay.
When someone suffers harm when protecting you, they mark XP. That's it. That's all it says.
I just want to double check to see if they purposely said that can't be used.
That's cute. I like that.
I mean, it can only be abused until you're knocked
Until you're
unconscious.
dead.
You know, there's a pretty hard
Yeah, keep
hard
doing
ceiling
that.
on that one. Dude, I got 7 XP.
Yeah, just whenever you
With
protect
my
him,
dying
get
breath, I
XP.
tell Goop to duck. You're not. Fine.
Wow.
8 XP. That you don't get to use.
Oh, and when you turn into a soldier, you get rid of that ability. So you get to pick 2 abilities when you change into a soldier with that one. Very cool. All right, so let's talk about these dice, shall we?
Yard.
Okay.
Stop being
Legion loyalty are all on the mission oath sworn to the Legion.
Technically, they are all oath sworn.
They didn't swear to you.
They didn't swear the
You,
oath.
you tell me, Aldermani soldiers, are you loyal to the Legion or are you just here for the free ride? Whatever you think.
It's fun narratively.
We would have
Cripple
on
us.
any missions with them yet?
No.
We had that little training.
We had the training
Yeah.
montage.
We kicked you in the ribs. We're friends
I don't
now.
think I would have sworn.
You don't feel oath sworn.
No.
You don't feel like
it feels more like an agreement than an oath.
Sure.
You know.
I knew it.
Sure.
I knew it.
Okay, so we don't have die for that.
Yes, you don't have a die for that. Intel. Did the commander spend an additional intel to give you advanced information on this mission?
Yes, I will spend my intel. I was
You
going to
get
spend
a
it on
die.
both missions. So should I erase that now?
Yes.
Cool.
Is everyone on the mission a specialist or a soldier?
Okay.
Almost.
Leadership. Does any legionnaire distrust or not respect the leadership enough to obey orders on the battlefield?
I don't know. All our money soldiers.
I don't think
I
we.
disagree.
Yeah. We're still soldiers.
Yeah.
Still taking command.
Right.
Sure.
They're used to that.
Yeah.
Sure. Parameters are required specialists or equipment not on this mission.
We got everybody who's needed.
And then supply mission. Did the quartermaster spend extra food to equip the mission?
No.
Is the current pressure higher than 2?
No.
No, it's 1.
Then you have 2 dice.
2 extra?
Or 1 dice. You have 1 dice. 1 dice.
I only
Sorry.
have 1 dice.
Just 1 dice for your engagement roll.
Better than disadvantage. Roll good, roll good, roll good.
Shakira! Oh, it's a 2.
Sorry, you're in a desperate position. Like you said.
no!
Doesn't
But it's-
really affect anything mechanically. It's more narrative than anything.
Yeah, we're
We feel
good.
desperate.
It's another day on the job.
It's another day on the job.
Another day.
We're hungry. That's why we're desperate.
It's 11.
Oh, also the officer's in charge because the officer has to be.
Okay.
So this doesn't take you
Just the
directly
shack.
into the Black Forest. It takes you along the outskirts and has you go to the
thank
base. Takes you to the base of the Sunspire Peaks, which are directly west of, east of Plainswood. You follow the trail for probably, it's about 2 or 3 days ride out. And basically what the merchants have told you is that they want to prevent any of the undead that are coming along with Render's troops who are also heading eastward, across, like over the side of the mountains. They don't want those supplies to be destroyed or taken or whatever have you. So the merchants are asking you to recover them for them, and they'll split like 50-50 with you.
Okay.
So the first point they have you come to head to is a big old watchtower that's an outreach portion of Sunstrider Camp farther north of Plainsworth. And you've seen the Black Forest, you know the eerie twilight, you know the darkened canopies. As you get closer to the Sunspire Peaks, because of how the mountain or how the sun bounces the rays off, it's a little less dreadful on this specific portion of the Black Forest. You actually cross by like a nice babbling pond or brook, but over the course of maybe, it takes you a little bit longer than you thought it was going to take. Like, you thought you were going to arrive at the watchtower at daytime. It's getting probably 4 or 5 o'clock. Not quite sunset, but by the time you head towards the mines, probably, you've been given a couple of carts to take the crates along with you and some horses to carriage along with. So,
Should we stop? Should we stop here for the night by the watchtower?
Yes.
How long of a journey is it back?
About 2 or 3 days.
About 2 or 3 days.
You don't ever have to complete a mission in a day. That's why. Don't forget to pick your loadouts.
Check.
Because food and things.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm going heavy.
I was also thinking about going heavy.
I already did, and I marked a reliquary.
Yeah.
Too much corruption's been happening around here.
So the watchtower was where we picked up these crates.
The
and
watchtower is where you're going to get the first set of
We're gonna
crates.
get the first.
You
set
have to
of
stop at
crates.
a watchtower, and then you have to head to mines a little bit further eastward at the very base of the mountain. Right now, you're probably like a day's journey from the watchtower or a half a day's journey from the watchtower to the mines.
So we're just like on the road. We're not really
Yeah.
next to anything right
You're like near the tree line of the Black Forest, and you can see like the red clay of the mountain. Like I said, like a half to a full day's journey. Like you could touch base if you went straight east for a day on horse.
now. For a day. We
Yeah.
Get to the red.
The mines are a little bit before the base of the mountain, so half a day's
Gotcha.
journey. Yeah.
And right now we are at the edge of the Black Forest, or is it like?
Yeah, you're riding along the edge of the Black Forest. You're not in it.
All right. Could I be able to determine, like, if we say just rode for 3 hours, like, would we still be at the edge of the Black Forest, basically?
Yeah, it's on your left-hand side, and it's now parallel for the path that leads to the watchtower. And at some point on the map that you have, the watchtower will be a little bit more eastward. You'll break off from the parallel of the tree line, and you start going to like these dipping hills that are in the one of the watchtowers is nestled in between like 4 hills.
Gotcha. So Captain Shackleton says, "All right, we'll make camp right here. Edge of the road, not the one next to the big evil forest."
Yeah, sounds good.
So,
Set
we
up
just
camp.
say the camp is set up, but
Yeah, start using my camping gear.
So you probably spend the next hour or so getting maybe like wood. There's the river that's not too far back from you that has some fresh fish if you want that. You'll still have to like mark off food ration things, but yeah, you basically set up camp in the hour and you're all just kind of.
How do we mark off food rations?
I think there are what did you say, like 5 or something like that.
If you have supplies.
Yeah, is that right? Food supplies. You had to bring food.
We have in normal, you have fresh food,
Because we're rookies.
but it doesn't note how much fresh food we have.
I believe it should be 5 uses.
Supplies has 5 uses, but I didn't mark supplies, so did I not pack food?
Basically, yes.
Okay, well then I'll pack food. But I have fresh food in my normal pack.
Yeah, so your rookies are good.
Oh.
It's everyone else.
Yeah, one of the few things specialists will respect you for. What? Enough for a good meal or a tasty soup. Use is 1.
Oh, fresh
thank
food
you.
only has 1 use?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now, well, that changes what I bring.
Usually recon and supply missions are like longer.
Okay.
Where is
multiple-
that?
Can we all change what we brought then?
Yes,
Now that we know
that is
it.
okay. That is okay.
I'm bringing supplies.
I'm bringing food.
And if I'm doing a heavy, I can't have 2 armor and 2 shields, right?
It just upgrades, yeah.
Oh, it would make it fine then
Yeah.
if I brought another one along.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to have the prerequisite to take the next one. So like if you, I think is it you? Yeah, you get either fine shield or fine heavy armor, and then that upgrades when you go to heavy. Or you get both, I think. Oh yeah, it requires any shields. You have to take shield to get tower shield for a heavy.
But what I'm saying is, as a rookie, if I took heavy, I have armor and shield. Can I then, in one of my utilities, take armor and shield? Or is that no?
No.
Cool. That's what I thought. So then, in that case, I'll take
So
climbing
you
kit.
mark supplies and then
No, medic.
any
That gives you
dots?
5 days worth of food.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So we mark one of those.
Yeah,
Or
so
fresh
Or
food.
fresh food.
I'm marking my fresh food.
because you're spending the night right now.
Sick.
Are we taking watch?
Officer, who is first? Yeah, me and Goop on first
So-
watch. Or...
Camp's all set up.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do you light a fire of any sort? There, It is important to note that in all of Aldermark, no matter where you stay camped, there is like a low chance of like feral undead running around because the Cinder King has already come all the way up to Skydagger Keep and then was pushed back again. So there's like remnants all throughout the country.
Is wood something that we can just have, or is that something that we've got to like take note of how much we use?
Woods, I'm sorry?
Wood.
To like burn.
No, abstractly, narratively is, you're fine.
Alright, so, and what character are you role-playing for this mission?
Malexi or Lex.
Yeah, give a quick shout out to who you're currently playing in this mission.
Malexi Koloyevich, aka Lex.
Except I'm Goop.
She's loud, she's proud.
Sapam Goop!
Shimya Dua.
I'm K-Rona Bear.
And Devil Eye Shackleton.
Great.
Alright, and what's your last name again?
Koleyevich.
Kaleyevich.
Yes, Devil Eye.
I want a fire built 80 feet that way. Make it big.
Alright, Goop, bring those twigs.
Okay.
Goop, you're staying here,
Never mind, Goop, give me those twigs.
building us a smaller fire around our camp.
Okay.
Beautiful rookies.
And your name's Corona?
Yeah.
Right, so I pull out, because I brought lenses this time, so it's like a telescope. And I hand my telescope to Lens. I say, I hand my telescope to Corona, and I say, Corona, you and I are keeping first watch. With this, you keep an eye on that fire over there. I keep an eye on what's happening over here.
Sure thing.
That's the first 4 hours, all right? Second 4 hours, Shimya, you switch with me, and Cuts, you switch with Corona.
Dun, dun.
We clear on that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Annika kind of just like sits next to you, Corona, and is like giving you the side eye.
You got a problem?
Not like you. She's trying to send you the signal of like, the Legion.
Not with you.
Yeah.
Hey. It's leading to an end.
Doesn't want to roleplay your character.
Not too hard, but
We don't know who she is yet.
Yeah, I just want everyone to know that there are 7 people at this fire.
There are 7 of us.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Lex is already back and like, do you need help, Goop?
No, I do it.
Okay. Have a good night.
You want to do a fortune roll to see how long it takes you?
Have any flint?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Fortune roll? No,
Yeah,
I'm kidding. This is.
We'll roll. Okay.
I tell my memory.
So we'll
Yeah.
use your your insight. We'll use however many points you have in your insight to make a fortune roll.
Great, that's 1. 2.
You get it done. Just you accidentally picked wet wood, so it takes you a little longer than.
You picked up all of your sticks by the river.
Yeah. These
It's
are
so
river
pretty.
stones. Yeah.
It's a really pretty river. I thought the sticks might be pretty too.
So let's we will also do a fortune roll for the 2 of you. We'll use your scout traits to determine if you see anything or if anything of danger comes to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have any points in Scout, and I have a level 2 harm. So do I roll 3 die and take the worst?
No,
Do
you
I
still only roll 2
Okay.
die and take the lower.
Cool.
Does the lens help them in any way? Or
Oh my god! I rolled a 5.
6.
I got a 4.
Hey.
I was not expecting that.
You're an officer.
Very
Very good
good.
at what
Yeah.
you do.
I have 1 eye.
So
Luckily, it's the good eye.
That's why his scout is so bad.
That's why my Scout is so bad. Yes.
so you are both kind of like you're looking at the giant fire, and you are keeping an eye on the tree line, right?
Yeah, it's just the tree line in our
Yeah.
campsite,
So
basically.
you're kind of like probably walking the perimeter here or there, with like the makeshift tents that have been put up. I mean, they're like canvas tent pole, full shebang, but you know they're small and functional.
Can I just say, as a matter of superstition, we put the tents in a way that our small fire would not be visible from the forest.
Sure.
And just a reminder that if you took normal, you get a family weapon, tents and camping gear, or cooking kit and fresh food.
What?
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, supplies. So you're both looking out, and you don't see any undead, but the smell of the fresh food, you can see some wolves start to kind of like, you see like the glint of eyes like tracing along the forest tree line, and I think as long as someone is watching, you will be okay, but they look they're potentially hungry predators. They haven't like come out of the forest yet. And I would say the forest is probably a good maybe like 250 feet from you, but the glint is very noticeable with how twilight the forest is. Especially as you start to lose sunlight.
Corona, you got any fresh food in your bag?
Yeah. Nuts, berries, both. Which one you want?
Nuts and berries, huh? You don't have any, I don't know.
Oh, do
Meat
you want
is what
this?
he's asking for.
Big
Who is that?
slab of barbecue jerky.
Big slab of barbecue jerky.
Got a
That's,
fresh hamburger in
that's-
his bag.
That's
for some reason.
homemade. Homemade.
That's monster cheese.
Took that bison down myself.
Huh. That's good work, Corona. How sentimental are you about this?
I mean, it only took me, nice long hunt, tracking it down, taking down the beast by hand.
All right.
Oh, but if you wanted to throw it at them wolves just to distract them, feel free.
Take one bite of it, Corona. You killed it.
Just enough cayenne.
And then I just sort of
Chuck?
throw it to the wolves.
But honestly, like, lick that off your hands. Like, see, the cayenne's just right.
I don't lick it off my hands.
So you throw the meat out. You don't see them leave the wood quite yet.
Not sure they will.
According to my fortune roll, they won't. So it's
You
there.
You're
Yeah.
seeing the same thing as me. Didn't look like they liked it.
Yeah. I just take out my pistol and make sure it's, loaded and operational.
Sure, absolutely.
Ooh, that's a nice one. You like mine?
Damn, son.
Is that a Winchester 65?
You cleaned that, right?
Every damn day.
Let's make that twice every damn day. I don't need to lose a soldier because of a jam.
Says when he jammed his own gun.
The dice jam. God damn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next watch.
Me.
And cuts.
So you get to play cats.
Oh, I'm so
He
happy.
planned that.
and so
Shimya.
and Shimya.
Yeah. Well,
Do you think it's true what they say about the Black Forest and old lady eating other old ladies, becoming an even uglier old lady, cursing children and carving circles into them, making them sleep and never wake up? Do you think that's true? Have you heard any of that?
yes, I've heard it. And I believe it. How do you feel about it?
I don't know.
Well, this is the life that you chose.
Ugh.
Yep.
Alright, so if you want to
That's
do
crazy.
some sort of roll to keep lookout, you can either do a fortune roll again with Scout, or you can pick if you think something else would be more appropriate.
Skirmish it with your eyes.
I'm thinking it'll have no effect.
Beat up the wolves
You
by
can
looking
still
at them.
roll, but no effect.
Well, I'm rolling with Scout, which is disadvantage again. 1!
So you cuts you're looking out towards the forest line, I assume? So you look out towards the forest line, and this is a controlled. These are mostly controlled rolls. You have full you're in a clear area, so nothing can really sneak up on you. And the effect is standard / limited as it gets darker as well. I would say limited at this point for your watch. And you look out and you can't really. It's really hard to see more than maybe 60 feet from your camp with the ambient fire that's going on between the tents. And you can see the big bonfires start half the size at this point. You haven't seen any activity over there either.
Cool.
Okay, I'll roll Scout as well, but I roll with disadvantage.
If you want to.
Could I use anything else? I don't really have anything else that would work.
Research could also work.
Same thing.
There
Are
you
you
go.
at disadvantage too, Anna?
Yeah,
We do
I
hard.
have anchor, but that doesn't really make sense. 2.
2. Same thing. You're both looking out into the darkness. It's hard to see. All you have is your own firelights. The immediate camp area is fine, but who knows what's beyond that set of darkness.
You guys keep being distracted because there's a pile of just incredible jerky out there that's just being wasted.
See it, you're like, I should go grab it.
Yeah,
Should go eat it
I
off the
understand.
fucking
It's
floor.
distracting.
Thrown for the ants.
I assume at some point the rest of you go to bed for the
Oh.
last 2 hours or whatever.
Oh, I thought everyone was sleeping
Yeah, I was sleeping
I thought-
during both
yeah.
of those watches. Alexa finished making the fire.
Yeah,
She was
sorry, I
like,
don't
cool.
Yeah, while we're watching,
everybody went to bed, and then
Wow.
Shackleton and Corona were up for 4 hours, and
Yes,
then they went to bed, and then Cuts and Shimmy were up for 4 hours.
Oh, so you're saying that you want to do 2 watches for the full time everyone else is sleeping?
Yes.
Okay.
Two watches for the night. instead of
Perfect. Then at some point just before you go to wake everyone up, you hear rustling or something, and some of your bags have been torn into.
Ours in particular?
No, just the whole
The whole
camp, right?
camp.
So everyone
Ah,
must
shit.
take off 1 supply. Some of your food has been
Lost.
bitten out of its sacks.
Well, shit.
Someone ate my dang Pringles.
Cannon, Pringles are now
That's what
for
Bob
us.
says.
And my dang Pringle.
Are you talking about when you deep fried your potato chips?
Yeah, my Pringles. My fantasy Pringles. Somebody diggly dang ate them.
Tiggly
A
dang.
Very interesting name for them, Goop. Very interesting.
All right, everyone, let's pack up camp and keep moving.
All right.
As the sun rises and you start to see the gentle pinks and oranges, the corals that come over the mountaintop, you spend the next half day or so getting to the watchtower. And beep, 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 then I write it down, 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 down. No. So what you see is a mostly wooden structure. There is some stone at the very base of it, and there's another partial wooden structure that's made of the same wood as probably this forest line of the Blackwood. But you come cresting over multiple hills over your quarter-day journey, and there's sparse trees here. They're evergreen trees, not dead trees or anything. And there's a little bit more flourishing here than the western front. It's closer to the rain, the shadow rainfall from the mountain. There's a couple lakes here and there that kind of feed the lushness here. And excuse me, you see a 4-wall-sided square tower, probably about 20 feet higher than the tree line. Just so anyone could see over the hills or over the immediate Black Forest tree line before they would come northward towards Sunstrider Camp. And you can see actually in the distance 2 or 3 other dots of watchtower in nested in between different rolling hills. and you can see some like broken crates on the outside. You can see a couple horse carcasses, like or not carcasses, but skeletons and people skeletons, like kind of loosely littering around the watchtower. This is probably from fights long ago. It doesn't seem like anything terribly recent. Nothing's been like picked clean by a beast or anything. So the watchtower seems empty. As you approach, there's loose forestry around you, shrubbery. There's pretty tall grass around here. Some of the pathing has been overgrown, but you arrived at the watchtower.
All right. I say, nobody touch anything. Corona and what's your last name again?
Koleovich.
Corona and Kalevich, you keep watch down here. The rest of us, we're gonna sweep the inside of the tower.
Alright,
Aye,
Captain.
aye, Captain.
All right, and
Damn, 4.
take the
He's
pistol
not,
out
he's
and
not
I
the captain, he's an officer.
kick open the door and just sort of.
And it kind of like echoes inside. There's a couple of like arrow slits on the first like 2 what would be considered levels of the tower for defense, and then there's open windows higher up, and there's probably especially Enika and Corona window that some of the Aldermani make. There's definitely like some sort of like rooftop perch in this space, but you climb up maybe like 1 or 2 floors for like not rooms necessarily, but landings, and there's like loose small crates. The merchants told you they could be either in the tower or outside the tower in that barracks room, like that sleep room on the side of the watchtower. So you just have to gather up some of the materials. It's like what looks like paper and things and books, maps. It's mostly like paper materials, no food items, no like ammunition. There's like a loose couple of daggers and swords and things, but it looks more ornate make than like wartime make. It may have been like a transfer of a supply coach that they had and had to leave it behind. In fact, as you like maybe as Corona and you left Corona and Lexi down there, as you guys kind of like circle the perimeter, you can see like broken carts let on the behind of the watchtower. So it's something they probably had to leave in a hurry due to an attack or something of that effect. But it's easy enough to find the materials after you do a sweep of it. There's no like roll needed. It's not difficult. There's nothing in here hiding. So you have the first set of supplies.
Beautiful.
Cool. And so the next watchtower is probably a day away, right?
The mines are about a half-day journey on horse away.
And if we just...
And we've only wasted a quarter of a day, right?
Yeah. So, but you would, if you left after loading up the crates and everything, you'd probably get to the if you left right now, got to the mines at sunset.
At sunset.
Like the sun would just start setting, you'd have maybe like an hour, hour and a half of daylight left.
But we don't know what's gonna be there.
Yeah.
We also don't have that much supply left. If we have to come back to.
Well, we don't have to come back this way.
Yeah, you don't have to come back to the watchtower. You can ride. You could probably ride the mountain back. The watchtower is just closer.
Say, all right, everyone, load everything up. We're getting to the mines before sunset.
All right. Montage of moving boxes.
Sure.
Me and Cuts, I think, are like double care, like a lot of. Get right back to the road again.
Oh boy, more paper. That would be great.
For our
Lexi snags a couple of pieces of paper.
okay.
Yeah, just to like have for herself.
And does anyone else see that, or do you want anyone else? Do you care?
I don't. It's not as I'm trying to be stealthy. I'm like, does anyone mind? Or like I asked Captain, like, can I have some of the sheets of paper? Is that
It's up to you.
issue?
Sure, take 3 sheets of paper.
All right, I just need something to write down. Keeping track of everything we're doing, just to have an accurate report.
So for our Aldermani friends, some of the stuff is like fine Aldermani craftsmanship, especially the daggers. You get a pretty good penny for that stuff. It's not as you're an Orite, right? So you would probably know that the metalwork, especially if the Aldermani make, this is a little bit more luxurious. It's more decorative than useful, but it it's worth something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would mean anything necessarily to you as an Orate, because they're a little bit more into their own creations, but just so you know as well. For anyone else, you probably wouldn't, like, it's all whatever. Like, yeah, that's great.
Like we're just tossing it.
Yeah, you don't understand what the value of it is.
Are you just... Take a look at that dagger.
Yeah, it's pretty blunt.
It's like made of a fine silver, and you can see like some swirls, like wind that's been cut into the bottom half, and then there's like a little geometric falcon that's in like the tip of the dagger.
Can
pretty though.
Here, let me show you something.
Sure.
And he takes that one, and then he pulls one out that he got from that he was equipped with once he joined the Legion.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what they gave us just now. You notice the difference?
This one is sharp.
Not much unlike your mind. This dull blade is unique. Look at the detail in that blade.
No, definitely. If we keep that one sharpened enough, it'd be a very nice piece to have on you.
Yeah, agreed. Maybe we don't just toss them around like that, though. My people spent years refining their artistry with this.
So treat it. I'll be a little more gentle when I. Should I wrap them up and will I put them in the crates?
Yeah.
Instead
So
of
would this
now
conversation
you're
be
catching
holding
on.
up our getting a move on to the mines?
Usually no, but this one kind of like seems like a full stop. Like,
Yeah.
hey, stop throwing our shit around. So everything's kind of come to a halt in this little discussion.
So I sort of poke my head in and I say, "What's the problem? Why have we stopped?"
So Corona was explaining to me how these are actually pretty, well, ornamental, very ornamental. So just when we take them back to these, you are in on the mission.
Pack up all of
Alright,
the
yes,
supplies,
of course.
Carefully.
and
Just
we
making
will
sure-
move to the mines, where the rest of the supplies will be.
The supplies that we'd like to keep in pristine condition, though.
Right? Yes. Lovingly pack up all of the supplies. Shackleton's kind of
Jeremy is crying.
Goop gives him a little kiss so they love it.
I turn my back to you and start like packing up, but I look to your
Yeah.
side and you see me like wrap
So
it up.
Shackleton's
and
just
give you a
like
little
in the
nod.
middle of the room now, like a foreman, just like
Yeah, but I'm like
looking
wrapping
around
it
at
up.
everybody.
And Goop is gonna go around every crate and give him a little kiss.
Aw.
Because he's trying to do what the officer said and do it lovingly.
Literally.
All right, cool.
Goop is very literal. So, the pack up finishes up, head eastward. You leave kind of the tree line behind you. There's still like sparse trees as you get to the mountain until probably, what is the last quarter of that journey? The tree line kind of like really dies off at that point. You have like a barren stretch of grassland before you hit like the red clay of the mountain, and you start seeing like scattered mining equipment, like pieces of broken carts, some pickaxes, hammers, maybe a broken lantern or two, some loose rope. You get closer, you can see like tracks that lead probably where carts or caravans. In fact, there's probably a caravan still in this space, maybe semi-functional. It could be fixed if you wanted it to.
Great caravan.
Yeah, if you wanted it to. It would take a while. But you start to follow those train tracks. It's like your leading path to the mine. You see the outskirts of the mine. So it's a little, not a little bit, it's actually decently messed up at this point. Like wherever the wood housing and it has like broken in doors and windows. You can see dark stains on all the wood. Different bones scattered around as well.
Hey, officer. Are we sure there's nothing hiding in these mines here?
I just take out my pistol and say no.
But all the bones are relatively dry. Doesn't seem like a recent picking. Except for one of them as you get closer to the mine. It actually, not a skeleton, like a partially like a husk of a person.
Huh?
Seems like it's been drained.
Like it's been drained, so
Yeah.
it's
Like there's no like innards. It's all skin and bone.
everybody stop moving. Anybody here got experience? Studied the bodies. Know how a body died just by looking at it.
Most of the bodies I've seen, I know how they died.
I've never seen anything like this.
And so are we at like?
Are there any Panyar in the group? No, right?
No.
Okay.
We have everything but we
Yeah.
have Orite, Barton, and Zamyati.
So we're still like
And
approaching
Armani.
the wooden buildings. This is still just sort of like.
So as you kind of like push past what is like the living space for this area, you see the entrance to the mine. Part of the top brace is like broken inward. There's like some loose rubble. It's like spilled out directly center of the mine, so it's like a decent size of rocks that you could spend some time moving, but you can definitely move around it to get inside. It's not like blocking the entrance. And as you kind of like peek that over, you can see an arm under like a side portion of it.
But like an arm, not
Yeah.
a skeletal.
Yeah, like a full fleshy arm.
Someone was trying to take things from here.
As soon as you say that, the hand kind of like twitches and like starts like to wave.
I think somebody's in there.
Nobody moved.
Someone tried to rob the place.
So they're like under rubble, basically.
Yeah.
All right. I move to the rubble, and I just try to knock aside like the biggest rock.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also got like all my weight on my back foot in case this arm
Sure,
you know,
sure.
is attached to a giant ball of eyes or something. This is just some kind of
If
undead
it's a-
anglerfish.
Is it a giant ball of eyes and one arm?
Yes.
And the
Sticks
arm
out.
is the
Yeah.
anglerfish part?
Yeah.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
We saw a witch made of witches.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
kind of leverage this probably torso-sized rock off the top of the pile, and you like see a shoulder and chest with like some torn clothing up here. You see like half of a face. It looks like a person. It doesn't seem to be an undead of any sort or a beast of anything.
Should we get any closer?
Help me, please, get me out of here. No, we have to leave. We have to get out of here.
I just sort of put up a shush finger. We're gonna get you out. I need you to be quiet.
Please help me. It hurts. I've been under here so long.
Corona, what's your last name again?
You're good. Kalevich.
Corona Kalevich, help me with the stones. Everybody else, keep watch all around you. Every direction. Get your
I
weapons
got it.
out.
Captain?
Axe is on the back. Alright.
It's not in the camp. It's in the tunnels.
Oh, put the rocks back. No problem.
So, what's in the tunnels?
We heard a lot of skittering bugs. We couldn't really see them. Our lanterns went out.
What made your lanterns go out as I'm moving these rocks off of you?
Alright, who's got food they can give this man? Nobody says anything, I take out some of my supplies.
There,
I
okay.
say, take this, go sit down. Goop, you stay with him.
Yes.
So after probably about roughly the effective 15-20 minutes, you're able to uncover him. His legs pretty much completely broken. One of his shoulders are dislocated, and he has a bunch of like bruises and lacerations from the rocks, and
Yeah, that's bad.
it looks like scratch marks on his back, but it doesn't look like that's from the fall of the rock. And he hobbles with you over and like sits down, and he's constantly in pain. Like no matter what position you try to like soften him in, it just he's kind of it's a very big surprise he's not dead right now. I've been here for those fucking merchants. Fucking if I ever get my hands on the
Merchants?
there are merchants that sent us out here to recover some sort of supplies, but
Do you have names?
Who are you with?
they're
Pulls out paper that I took. That I've now inserted in this diary.
names
that I've been
of
keeping.
who?
The merchants. Like what
Yeah.
merchants were they?
The same
Can you give me
merchants.
the names?
Yeah. Ivory stomping.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's the Panyaris. 1 second. Saria.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn Sarda and Kova Lago.
Cool. And I just write those
You-
names down, and then I show them because I don't know about the mission. I'm like, do these names look familiar?
You recognize Kova and Quinn.
Hmm.
They were the contacts for the upper officers, for the marshal and the commander.
When did you get here?
About 4 or 5 days ago. He is Aldermani.
So what was it? What?
I was just gonna say I'd sort of walk up to the mouth of the mine and just put my arms behind my back and just kind of look into the mouth of the mine.
And
What the mouth of the mine kind of stares back.
What did these things look like?
Some sort of insect creatures. I hadn't seen anything like it before.
And I point over to the other body that's like nearby. I'm like, do you know this person?
That was Rago.
Okay. And did you see what happened to Rago?
No, that was so fast. It happened at night. Like I
Did
said, we were
anything-
running and broke most of our lanterns.
So you broke one. They didn't put them out. There was
No,
nothing.
it wasn't them. It was us panicking.
You're good. Everything you say helps.
I think the others are still alive in there.
How many others?
There were 7 of us. Well, now 6 of us.
5 minus. Not you, okay?
They've been in the mine for the past 5 days.
But we found big balls of silk, and we think there were people in there still alive.
Did you find the supplies that you were looking for before you got attacked?
Good question.
The merchant said that they were down inside the mines.
Mm-hmm.
It was like some sort of rich ore or something.
So but you didn't locate it before you got attacked.
No, they said gems, ores, mostly supplies from the cave that didn't make it back to Plainsworth.
Is there any place you didn't check yet, or?
Did you check these houses?
We checked all over the campsite. There's nothing in here with any of the materials they're looking for. Just lots of broken tools. Probably from the push from Cinder King.
How did the cave fall in?
I don't know. It happened at the last second, and that's why I was trapped under the rubble. Probably from not being maintained.
So this attack happened at night? Nothing before? No sign of anything before night?
Just
fell?
when we went into the tunnel.
Mm.
We must have been in there longer than we thought. We started in the day, but it gets windy down there.
So I look up and is it sunset right now?
Yeah, it's like
about to be
you
dark?
probably have about like a half hour or so left of like visible coral light, purple and coral light.
Does anybody here have rope?
I got supplies.
So yes, if you have supplies, you have rope. And whoever gave him food, make sure to mark off the supplies for that.
Well, we don't have that much rope.
Yeah.
I would say one is like every 50 feet worth of rope or something.
All right.
So, officer, we're not going to worry about those other people if they're in silk things and like if they're 100% okay, but like.
Are you
Also-
saying this in front of him?
No. This is when I because I said he was over. He said he was looking over at the cave.
Okay.
So I assume I walk up to him and like I'm telling him everything and whatever I was able to write down.
Also, I think we're dealing with some big mosquitoes.
Goop, Corona build a fire right here at the mouth of the mine.
Oh, you like doing things the hard way, huh?
How do you do it?
Flint and steel.
I watch. Awestruck. I get an experience point.
Protecting yourself.
You both look Aldemani.
Sure are.
What are y'all doing with the Legion?
See this group of people? Look pretty capable, huh?
Emeralds for life!
Alright, ignore that one. That one's talents are other things. Sometimes you need to realize what you're facing against.
People are better in numbers.
I thought so too.
Goop, you got that rope?
Yeah, only like 50 feet of it though.
Alright. I just sort of let one end drop, kind of near the fire. And then I tie the front end around my
So
waist.
you're not thinking about going in there, are you?
I'm not thinking about it. I'm doing it. Shimya, you're with me?
We could wait till morning.
Who's got a torch?
Sure.
Alright.
My soldier's kit. Here you go.
Now, based on what we find in this next 50 feet or so, we might go in further. We might just wait for the sun to rise. But there's people in there. I think we owe it to them to give them at least the first 50 feet. Right? If anything goes wild, I'll tug twice. But if nothing goes wild, we should be back 20 minutes. Everybody, while we're gone, defer to look around at who's there.
Goop like jumps in for like it's like that picture and
Me.
you looking at all the different people. Goop still just like jumps into frame in front of
I
everyone.
look. And then I look at Corona. I'm like, you defer to Corona until we're back. In the meantime, the standing order is to keep your eyes peeled in every direction. Smart leader. And so, Shimya, let's do this. And so, I give Shimya the torch, and I've got the rope around my waist.
Hang on to the rope.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah,
I
he's
just
leading
walk
the way.
100 feet
Just
in.
boom, pulls you back.
Oh,
No,
that weird
no,
bragging noise.
no, officer.
So as you all set a perimeter around this fire, the two of you tie the rope around the waist, and you kind of like hitch onto the back. And you watch as they slowly.
Wait, they took the whole length of rope?
The other end is at the campfire.
Oh, okay.
And it's just surround me.
And you watch as they both push past the veil of darkness, and that's where we're gonna take a break.
Woo!
See you in a few.
No.
Veil of
Always split the
darkness.
party and always send the specialists.
Yeah, that's always the
Yep.
smart thing to do.
Always.